In the two of my past videos, I have been able to explain to you signs that show that somebody actually have a spiritual spouse, and also ways that you can actually get rid of this spiritual spouse. But you know that there is a saying that say prevention is better than cure. So I deem it fit in today's video to actually point out in concrete terms ways by which an individual gets entangled with this spiritual marriage, because you know that spiritual marriage has been a very big problem in the life of people, and it has been a clog in the way of success of a lot of people. Because when you are entangled with this spiritual marriage, sometimes your physical marriage become unproductive. If it is not unproductive, you notice that money cannot stay in your hands, because the same way you take care of your physical wife or take care of your physical children, that is the same way you begin to take care of spiritual children. And the worst is that they came forcefully spiritually to steal your finances without your consent. This one now is whether you like it or not, you begin to pay debt that you don't even know when you acquire. And because of this, no matter the spiritual work you do, sometimes you will not get any result, because there is an external force somewhere that has been causing hindrances and obstacles in your life. And that is why I've deemed it fit in today's video to explain in concrete terms how somebody actually gets entangled with this spiritual marriage, so that you will now be able to prevent it if it is within your capacity, because there are some parts that may not even be within your capacity to prevent it. But that one is not a problem, because you can simply visit my two last videos to be able to know how you break away from it. By God's grace, I will also make an effort to attach the link in this video, the links of how do you break away from spiritual husband or spiritual wife, and signs to show that you have spiritual wife, so that you can adequately get rid of it. So follow me till the end of this video and you will be happy that you did. Welcome once again to Jenny Action TV. In this particular channel, I discuss three important variables, which are actually health, safety, and spirituality. Believe me, if you can master and understand these three very well, there is no limit to your achievement. This is the very first time you're landing in my channel, you're highly welcome. Please do well to hit the red subscribe button and the bell notification, so that you always get notified by YouTube once I upload a new video. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I love you for always stopping by. So without wasting your time, let's get straight to the video of today. One of the ways of getting entangled to this spiritual spouse is actually batting late. Believe me, we are living in this world with both human and spirit, and the appropriate time spirit activities begin is actually by 6 p.m. So what happens is that once it is 6 p.m., you see the spirits roaming about. That if your spiritual eyes is actually open, you will begin to see them moving from one place to the other. Now, some people that especially their bedroom is located outside, it is not within their home, because if it is within your house, you can easily control it. One of the ways you can easily control influx and outflux of spirits in your home is actually carrying 7 seeds of garlic and throw it upon your zinc or inside your ceiling. Or another way is to make sure that there's one garlic in each window in your house. Once it's like that, it's become difficult for unwanted spirit to enter your home. And then again, it's broom. But when you are living in a public yard, sometimes you can't not actually control it. So it is not advisable to bath after 6 p.m. So try as much as possible to take your bed before 6 p.m. because in that public yard, spirits move in and out. People come with different spirits, different forces, different powers. Now, when people now with strange spirits enter and go, and strange spirits are dwelling there, when you come into bed, the same way physically men lost at maybe beautiful women, and even some women lost after men. That's how they lost. And due to that lost, they will automatically entangle themselves with you and marries you. So one of the ways to prevent it is actually stop betting late, except if you are doing spiritual bet. And by God's grace, when spiritual bet is involved, because of what you have already mixed in that water, it scares spirits away. Okay. Another way that somebody can get entangled with this spiritual marriage is picking money anyhow on the ground. Sometimes the money you see on the ground and you just suddenly pick it, you may not know who dropped it. It may make you to get entangled. Remember that I have once advocated for you to pick money in this channel, and that is just on a day. That is Friday. If you find any coin, once it is coin, pick it, wrap it with red cloth, go and keep it wherever you keep money. Believe me, know that the universe has decided to open doors of finance. Aside from that, never you pick any money on the way. Doing that may expose you to spiritual marriage because you might actually be picking money dropped by a spirit. Another way is sometimes immediately a baby is born. Mind whoever you give your baby. Some people that comes to carry your baby, trying to commemorate with you, are actually carrying lots of strange and evil powers. And when somebody with strange and evil powers carries that baby and that baby lack protection, believe me, automatically that baby will be married to evil spirit. And that is why one of these days I'm going to teach you how you can protect your baby destiny so that evil hand cannot even touch it. Once they look at that baby, they run away, let alone even carrying. Another way is dressing seductively. Sometimes you dress leaving most of your body open and every of contours of your body are seen, and you actually thinking that you are enticing men. But do you know that the same way men are enticed by the way you dress, spirits are equally enticed, and when they cannot endure it, because it's actually bad spirit that possess people. We have both good and bad spirit. Good spirit doesn't possess. Automatically, that spirit marries you. Another one is leaving your hair open and going out in the night. I've once said it in this channel that the place that devil used, or any spirit used to possess anybody, is the middle of your head, and that is why you mind who touch your head, because sometimes places you go in the name of receiving prayer are transferring another thing in your head. And if you see that when a baby is born, that place is very soft, that is exactly the place that spirit enters. So when you leave your head open and going out, especially in the night, it may attract evil spirit marrying you in the name of spiritual spouse. So it's advisable, even if you're a woman, you're a man, wear cap or tie your head if you must go out in the night. Another thing, the way is going to some dirty places, especially you see this young lady and young half a kind of ladies, teenagers that are coming up, and they will begin to stand two, maybe in different corners, having unwholesome relationship, hiding from their parents. You see that most of the time they want to hide in a corner, like close to a kind of gutters, close to maybe toilets and all those places. Those dirty places are habitation of demons. So once you are hiding in those places, you are calling spiritual spouse, because demons also feed. You know that demons actually feed on leftover. Spirits feed on leftover. So when you go there, they are there to search for their food, just as you have done your own in the daytime, and in the night you are going crookere with a boy or a girl, doing some of those touchy. Those things will also entice the spirit, and they will automatically possess you. Another way is having relationship with somebody who already has spiritual spouse, because the same way physical human beings are jealous over their lovers, that is the same way spirits are jealous. So assuming that a man already has spiritual wife and you are befriending that man, one of the way they will deal with you is to get a man spiritually to also marry you. So this is another way. That's why you have to mind and be careful of the people you interact, or you people you connect with carnally or sensually, because they can actually expose you to spiritual marriage. Another one is carelessly disposing your menstrual pad. It's not just physical human being that uses your menstrual pads against you. When your menstrual pads are thrown anyhow, especially in these incinerators, dirty places, which are the habitations of demons, then there is tendency for the spirit to trace who is the owner of that pad and possess that person. Know that in terms of menstrual pad, it's not only evil spirits that even have access to it and use it against the owner. Even evil men uses it to work against an individual. So the best way to actually dispose, if you don't have any choice other than disposing it in a public incinerator, then you have to get something like this hypo bridge. Hypo. bleach and pour on it before disposing it. You can even actually open this one and store it in a container, and it will be okay for you just for that a particular monthly cycle. Maybe 4 to 5 days you'll be in your period or seeing your flow. This one is just enough. Then, if you don't have access to this one, get fuel and pour on it. That's petrol, or get kerosene, but don't dispose it anyhow. Once you do it, you have neutralized it. No power and no human being will be able to use it to do any wrong thing to you. Then another way people get entangled with it is that some people that are born in royal family discover that those royal family, especially the traditional setting, that they involve with loss of powers and spirits in their palaces. So once a child is given birth to in that particular setting or in that family, automatically the child will already have existing spiritual spouse. And this spiritual spouse doesn't disengage you until around 35 years. And you know what it is in your life. 35 years of your life, you are under a cage. And you'll be wondering, how actually do they go to marry people? They go straight to the powers or spirit that is operating in your father's house. Believe me, everybody is coming from an altar, is coming from a background, is coming from an ancestor. So they go straight to that your family altar, the family powers that forefathers might have bring knowingly or unknowingly for one reason or the other, and pay your dowry. And if you see you are a man, they forcefully spiritually collect the dowry from you or collect the bride price. And that is why a man with spiritual wife doesn't make much progress, because even spiritually, if that wife begin to give birth, they will still be collecting school fees and responsibility money, and this is a very big problem. So this is reasons why you should not by any means allow spiritual marriage. Another way people get entangled with this spiritual marriage is what we call generational spirit spouse. There are some families, even though they are not royal family, they have generational spiritual spouse, in the sense that any generation that come up, there is already spirit existing to marry them. And especially families that practice witchcraft, that there is sexual perversion, there people don't see sex as sacred. You see people giving birth to children outside wedlock anyhow. You see rape, molestation, you even see incest, where relations have sexual relations, and then rape and abuse is order of the day. Definitely it will be existing in that family. Once you are giving birth to, automatically there is a spiritual spouse for you. And another one is disappointment relationship, when people are deeply involved in physical relationship and suddenly one's heart is shattered and broken. You see that at that particular time you are shattered. Even if you are strong spiritually, you may be very weak. To pray becomes a problem. You will not even do spiritual work for days. You may not get a kind of yourself, and they will not take advantage of that because of your weakness. Then spiritual spouse will come to your rescue to become a comfort and to you, and suddenly possess you. That's why I advocate that even if you are linked to somebody, your opposite sex or whosoever, don't have carnal knowledge of anybody unless you are getting married, because once you have such carnal knowledge and you are shattered, you will have problem. And that particular time you are trying to nurse the wound of that breakage, believe me, spiritual spouse will show up to cover the gap, and that is how it becomes a kind of part of your life. And it's easy to possess one, but to get rid of it is not actually an easy way. Another way is the way you lie down. Sometimes people sleep. One of these, I'll make video on the best way to lie down so that you will enjoy life and live long and without having some sicknesses. When you are lying down facing your face up, you are like inviting spirit, come and lie with me. That posture invites them. So if it is a home that spirit access, automatically they will start messing with you, and from there spiritual spouse will resume. So I don't want to make this video long. There are other ways, but let me stop it here. So with this, I've actually come to the end of this video. Please, if you find yourself entangled in any way, watch my video on how to break spiritual spouse, or signs that you have spiritual spouse. and then get rid of it quickly. And by God's grace, you will start seeing tremendous progress and productivity both in your future, in your present marriage, future marriage, and all your life endeavor. So with this, I've actually come to the end of this video. If you find it helpful, please give me that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed, and also hit the bell notification so as to get my next video. Share this channel and video to everyone. You will also be helping to liberate others, and that as you walk in the vineyard of the Almighty God, may He walk in your own vineyard and surprise you. God bless you. Still your Lady Jenny saying bye.